Hi, I'm David Silverman. I'm the Chief Financial Officer at Sandbox AQ. My journey to Sandbox AQ is probably one of the longer ones. I began my career over 35 years ago in an accounting and consulting firm, and after about a half dozen years at that firm, had an opportunity to work in the high-tech ecosystem. In the course of doing that, in the very beginning, I came across a man named Jack Hittery, who was a young, new CEO building an early internet company in New York, one of the pioneers in the New York tech scene. And I had the opportunity to work with him early in my career. And I just fell in love with the tech ecosystem and basically built a career out of working in technology, venture-backed companies, tech-enabled companies. I made partner at my firm based on working in that ecosystem, and then ultimately became a leader in the firm's U.S. practice. After about 30 some odd years, I retired from that company and took a year off. Part of that year was to kind of just recharge my batteries. I had an opportunity to cycle across the United States, which is something that I always wanted to do. And when I finished that journey, I began to think about what was the next chapter in my life? What did I really want to do? And having worked for so many years advising companies in the ecosystem, the high-tech ecosystem, what I really wanted to do was be on the other side and work inside a company and help build something. And lo and behold, as life just happens to work out, I got a phone call just as I was beginning to think about that next chapter from my friend Jack, who I had worked with so many years ago and had stayed in touch throughout those years. And he said, I've got this company I'm spinning out, great opportunity. It's in quantum and AI. I didn't probably say yes right at the spot, but in my head I was saying, oh, this is amazing. This sounds like a great opportunity. Hung up the phone, looked up what quantum computing actually meant, and was even more excited by the opportunity because it was a space that I wasn't super familiar with. Very deep technology, but what I did recognize is the transformative nature of what this company could do. So it really was a very exciting opportunity for me. So beginning my second career at Sandbox, there were a couple of different tensions that I had to deal with. The first one was going from a long career in advising companies to actually being in the company and being the CFO and being responsible, for the financial well-being of that company. Like most people, you have, concerns like, can I do that? Is this something that, I'm going to be able to do? I had never done that specific aspect. And what I found out over time was that the experience that I gained in my career, and in my case, it was a long career, but in other people's instances, it may be shorter. We all develop experiences. Those experiences formed the background that was necessary for me to be successful. And in taking that leap, I found that I did have the requisite knowledge, and I was able to bring a lot to the table, and I think be effective in my role at Sandbox. The other area that I might have had some doubts was I entered a company in which every other person had a PhD in some kind of either mathematical or scientific area that was so far beyond my knowledge base. And for those that didn't have those advanced degrees, they were coming out of West Point or other military academies. Or top schools. It's just such an impressive group of people, and that could be challenging, right? But the reality is, it was inspiring. The collection of people that I've gotten to work with over the past almost 3 years now has been phenomenal. It's just a great group of people, and I learn a lot. I've seen people be afraid to leave a position because they just don't know what's on the other side. And what I found when I retired, I didn't know what was going to be on the other side. And if you build your networks up, if you stay in touch with the people that you work with, if you gain a lot of experience and keep building your experiences, you bring all of that to enable you to continue to unlock career progression. So I'd say the number one thing I would say is get the experience, and number two is don't be afraid to take risks, take a leap, and use your network to help you advance throughout your career. You can do that internally as well. So within an organization like Sandbox, as we grow, and particularly a company that's growing at a high rate, there's always going to be continued opportunities for people. And so you can go around within that organization and build that experience by taking additional responsibilities and additional positions. And that's my best suggestions for you to advance your career. There are so many startups, technology startups, that the technology just isn't that consequential. It might be nice, it might be good from a consumer standpoint, etc. But this is real consequential technology. I don't think I can pick one particular technology that we're working on that I think is going to be, the most groundbreaking. I think it's everything that we're doing is going to have such profound impact, from our navigation product that will really solve a key issue in terms of being able to provide navigation when GPS technologies are denied. Like, that is just incredibly important for the defense of our country and democracies worldwide. When it comes to the cardiac device, I mean, it's an incredible device that can save thousands upon thousands of millions of lives, really significant impact. In simulation, the opportunities are just absolutely endless. I mean, the things that we can do in simulation can be groundbreaking in medicine and in materials. It's really exciting to see. And of course, in cryptography, again, it's so important and vital for the defense and security of information. These are all really consequential technologies, and just so proud to be part of that company that's doing all of that. If the things that we're doing at Sandbox AQ are of interest to you, and based on the things that I've talked about, please feel free to check us out on our YouTube channel.